So I'm going to go through 5-13 factoring polynomials, and I'm going to go through selected problems, and they're all due for homework, right? So there's 14 total. So I'm going to do like the first one to kind of set the tone, and then the rest of them you're going to have to do on your own. I'm going to show you my expectation of what you should have written for doing a problem like this, okay? This first problem, I take the 20, and I'm going to make a table. A lot of these don't need to use the calculator for the factoring, although you do know how to use it with the TI-84, but you're going to need to make a small table showing what you're doing, all right? I take my 20, and I'm going to try to find the factors of 20. First one is 1 and 20. The sum of those would be 21. 2 times 10, the factors of that would be 12. And I keep going through to find the guys I have. 4 and 5 factors is 9. You want to star it, okay? After you do that, you just place it back into the equation. X plus 4 times x plus 5. Then you want to use the FOIL method, right? Everybody should be able to do that. This is a good practice for it. And find out what the answer is going to be. X times x is x squared. X times 5 is plus 5x. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 5 is 20. Drop yourself a line. Like, yay. And bring it all down. X squared plus 9x plus 20. And then you want to go through and actually box your answer. In this case, this is the answer. The bottom part was the check, right? So I can see what your answer is on your paper, okay? That's essentially what you should do for each one of these things. So let's go through and take a look at a couple things that are really, really important when you're doing this. Is this should be easy. This should be easy, right? And when we get to this is where it starts getting a little confusing, right? So I'm going to do one of these, then skip one, right? And then kind of go through these harder ones that have the letter in front. I mean, the number in front. I say letter in front because it's really written like this. AX squared plus BX plus, I guess it'd be C squared. This is the formula you have. You actually have a constant in front, or coefficient in front that's used in this equation. So you have to do a little bit of fanciness to get around this, okay? For all practical reasons, you're still setting this up the same way. I will table like this, you're going like this, all right? Since it is negative, okay, your final product here, you're going to have something where you're just finding the difference between the new two numbers all the way down. To start off, you got to take this guy and push him to the other side, right? This is going to go, you're sliding it over, so it's x squared plus x minus 12. You're keeping this 2. We're putting him back in later. He's not disappearing, okay? Find the factors of 12. It's a negative number, so your values are going to have, for the multiples, you're going to just find the difference between them to get your answer. Let's say if I put 1 and 12 here, the difference between 1 and 12 is 11, okay? So you're always doing that. So how about 2 and 6? The difference between those things would be 4. 3 and 4, the difference between 3 and 4 is 1. And that's the one I want because it's positive x here. You want to make this positive, so I'm going to put a positive here and then negative here. I find the difference between the two numbers. So I'm using this and going back into the equation, making it x minus 3 times x plus 4. Once you got that figured out, okay, you could do the next thing. And that's it. Remember I left this 2 out here? You want to take that 2 and put him back into the equation. So I put this over 2. I put this number over 2. I just put it back in, okay? And this is where you can reduce if you can, which I'll do over here. But this side, I cannot. Since I can't reduce that because it's 3 over 2, I just put the 2 up into the front of the thing, all right, making it 2x minus 3. And this thing can be reduced. This goes away and becomes a 2, becomes x plus 2. All right, I'm going to box this because this is technically my answer, right? And then I'm going to check it. All checks should be made using the FOIL method. I know you guys like using the matrix thing or that box, window, polybox thing. And we're going to try using FOIL so we know there's more than one way to do it. Go to high school. This is the way the teacher may prefer for you to do it. So we're going to make sure we understand both of these, right? And it's not that bad. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 2 is plus 4x. Minus 3 times x would be minus 3x. Minus 3 times 2 is minus 6. And you can actually see the answer ahead of time. Drop your line. Because we're smart, we sit there and see this is going to be 2x squared. Right? Bad looking 2 right there. Plus x minus 6. And we do get what we're supposed to. So we check it off, right? But this is our answer, right? Now, we're going to go and take a look at another one of these. And we're going to look at one. These are all doing the same thing. We'll do this one. This is where it gets a little dangerous because we're going to have to factor out something before we even get started. See how they're all even, 4, minus 2, and 6? You got to factor out a 2 ahead of time. And you'll understand why in a second. It'll give you more than 2 answers if you're kind of working them all at just the 2 factors, but really ends up with 3 factors. First of all, you take the 2 out, you get the number 2 times 2x squared minus x minus 3. All right? Now, if you look, it looks a lot like this. Not exactly, but you get the point when we go to do this. Second part of this, you're going to do the slide and divide here, okay? So I'm going to move the 2 over. So it's going to be x squared minus x. 2 times this is minus 6. So we're going to put minus 6 here. And you can actually see right off the top of your head the factors there. It's the same ones used last time, right? It's 3 and 2. The difference between those things would be 1, but you put the negative in front of the 3, okay? And then you're going to put these back in. X minus 3 times x plus 2, right? Now we're going to take this 2 and put him back in. So this goes off our top of this. This goes off our top of this. So it ends up becoming 2x minus 3 times, this just becomes a 1. So it becomes x plus 1. The real total factorization is this. And then you would take the 2 and now put it in front. Technically speaking, this is the total factorization of this. This is the answer, okay? Now, you may want to see what it looks like if you multiply the 2 onto either one of these things. 2 other possible answers. This is the true factored answer. Another answer to this could be 4x minus 6 times x plus 1. Another one could also be, you could take the 2 and multiply it on the other side. It could be 2x minus 3 times 2x plus 2. That is also another answer. But the true complete factorization is this. You have the 2 in the front. Now, if you want to check this out, you can run both of these things. You're going to get the same answer when you slide and divide, right? From the slide and divide. We'll do this guy first. Okay, I'm going to put him up here. And you're going to see all these answers end up being the same. 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times 1 is 4x. Minus 6 times this is minus 6x. Minus 6 times 1 is minus 6. You can just visually see this. It's going to end with a minus 2x in the middle, and the rest of this stays the same. 2 times this would be 4x squared. 2x times 2 is plus 4x. You see this is going. It's going to get the same thing. Minus 6x. And this is minus 6. It's going to give you the exact same thing when you work it out.